Welcome to Quantivo Academy. In the series of number systems, let's start with the divisibility rule. That is, let's understand this divisibility rule with an example question. That is, we have to divide 234 by 6, which means, so how we can write this? 6, 2, 3, 4. So now let's do division for these. Now 6 3s are 18, then do subtraction, 5 will be the remainder, then this 4 will come here. Next 6 9s are, which is 54, remainder will be this 0. Now from these we can understand that 6, what we call 6 is divisor, and these 234 is dividend, and these 39 is quotient, and this at last this one is remainder. Now let's verify these question with division algorithm. That is, what we have division algorithm? Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. What we have? What is the dividend here? The dividend is 234 and divisor is 6. Dividend is 234, divisor is 6, and quotient is 39, and remainder is 0. Now let's do multiplication of these two numbers, that is 39 into 6. 6 9s are 54, 4 5 6 3s are 18, 18 plus 5, which is equals to 23. So 23 plus 0, sorry, 234 plus 0. So dividend is equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder. So 234 is equals to 234. In higher classes, we call these division algorithm as Euclidean algorithm, that we write these as A is equals to BQ plus R, where A stands for dividend, B stands for divisor, Q stands for quotient, and where R stands for remainder. Now let's continue with the divisibility rules. That is, if a number n is divisible by d, then the product of n with any other integral number k is also divisible by d. Let's understand these with an example question. That is, what we have to divide 125 by 5. So what we can write? Let us assume 125 as n and 5 as d. So when we divide 125 by 5, what we will get? 5 ones are 5, 2s are 10, 5 5s are, which is equals to 25. Remainder is 0. Now as per these divisibility rule, if we multiply any integral number, like any number, let's take a number like 125 into 8, that must be divisible by d. So 5 ones are 5, 5 25s are 25, 8s are 200. Now let's understand another divisibility rule. That is, if n1 and n2 are two different numbers that are divisible by d. Let's take an example. That is, what we have, n1 is 75 and n2 is 25 is divisible by d. which means two numbers like 75 is divisible by 5 and 25 is divided by 5, which means 5 5s are 5 1s are 5, 5 5s are 5 1s are 5, 5 5s are, which means n1 is divisible by d and n2 is also divisible by d. Then the sum of these two numbers, that is n1 and n2, 75 plus 25, the sum of these two numbers is equals to 100, which is also divisible by d. What we have? D is 5, 5 1s are 5, 5 2s are. Like same, when we do subtraction of these two numbers, that is n1 and n2, like 75 minus 25, which is equals to 50, divided by d, which is 5. So when I divide 5 ones, 5 tens are 50. This is also divisible by 10, which means if n1 and n2, two different numbers, are divisible by d individually, then their sum is also divisible and their difference is also divisible by d. Next divisibility rule is if a number n1, what we have, if a number n1 is divisible by n2 and n2 is divisible by n3, then n1 must be divisible by n3. So this we can write as like n1 is divisible by n2. First thing, n1 is divisible by n2 and n2 is divisible by n3, and n1 must be divisible by n3, which is n1 must be divisible by n3. Let's divide 25 ones, 25 threes, 5 ones, 5 fives, 5 ones, 5 ones are 5, 5s are 25. Now let's understand the divisibility by 2 by any number whose unit digit is the 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. Then these number will be divisible by 2. Like, let's understand these divisibility by an example question, that is 58694. Let's divide these number by 2. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, 1 2 nines are 18, 2 threes are 6, 2 fours are 8, 1 2 sevens are 14, which means these number is perfectly divisible by 2. Instead of doing these division, we can say by directly seeing the unit digit, that is, what do we have? The unit digit here, the unit digit is 4. So by the rule of divisibility by 2, we can say that if a number whose unit digit is either 2, 0, 4, 6, 8, then we can directly say that this number is divisible by 2. Next, divisibility by 10. If the number formed by the last two digits of a given number is divisible by 4, that is, the last two digits of a number can be either 0 0 0 4 0 8 0 1 12 16 20 24 28 32, so on up to 96. Now let's understand the divisibility by 4 with an example question, that is, what we have? 6 8 7 9 3 7 6. Now just let's see only the last two digits. What we have here, the last two digits, that is 76. Let's divide this 76 by 4. If this number is perfectly divisible by 4, then the complete number is also divisible by 4. Let's divide this. 4 ones are 4, 4 ones are 4, 3, 4 nines are 36. So the last two digits of the given number is perfectly divisible by 4, then the complete number, the given number, is also divisible by 4. Now let's understand the divisibility by 8. This is similar to the divisibility by 4, but uh, in the divisibility by 4 we considered only the last two digits, but in the divisibility by 8 we will consider here the last three digits, that is the last three digits of a given number. Like we have an example question that we have to check that this number is divisible by 8 or no. So by considering the last three digits, what we can say, that this number is either divisible or no. So let's divide these three numbers by 8. 8 ones are 8, 8 fours are 32, then 8 fours are 32, which means the last three digits of the given number is perfectly divisible by 4, sorry, by 8. Then these is then the given number, this complete number, is also divisible by 8. In the same way, we have another divisibility that is divisibility by 16. Here this is also same like divisibility by 4, divisibility by 8, and which means in 4 what we are considering, we are considering last two digits, right? In 8 what we are taking, last three digits, and in 16 what we will take, last four digits. We have to check last four digits. Now this is the question that you have to solve, and tell me in the comment section that this number is perfectly divisible by 16, or no. Next, divisibility by 5. How we can say that the given number is divisible by 5? By just looking the number, that a number is divisible by 5 if and only if its unit digit or the last digit, that is either it should be 0 or it should be 5. So now what we have a question that is 68790. So as per the divisibility by 5, what we have to see, the last unit digit, that is last digit, which is here it is 0, which means it is divisible by 5. If the given number is like 68795, then these number is also divisible by 5. Now the next divisibility we have, that is divisibility by 3. Now let's understand the divisibility by 3 with an example question, that is what we have, 69541. The divisibility of 3, that is if the sum of the digits of a given number is divisible by 3, which means the sum of these numbers is divisible by 3, then the actual number is also divisible by 3. So let's do the sum of these numbers. So 6 plus 9 plus 5 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. Let's do addition of these numbers. 9 plus 6, which is equals to 15, 15 plus 5, 20, 20 plus 4, 24, 24 plus 2, 26, 26 plus 1, which is equals to 27. Now 27 is divided by 3. 3 ones are 3, 9s are, which means the given number is also divisible by 3. The next divisibility we have, that is divisibility by 9. Let's understand these with an example question. That is, we have to check that the given number, that is 246591, is divisible by 9 or no. So how we can check? We can check by this rule, that is, the sum of the digits of a given number, the sum of the digits of a given number, the given number is 246591, is divisible by 9, then the actual number is also divisible by 9. So let's do the sum of these numbers. 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 5 plus 9 plus 1. So 2 plus 4 6, 6 plus 6 12, 12 plus 5 17, 17 plus 1 18, 18 plus 9, which is equals to 27. So now we have to divide these 27 by 9. 27 by 9, 9 ones are 9 threes are. So the sum of the digits of a given number is exactly divisible by 9. So by this we can say that the given number is divisible by 9. Next divisibility that we have is divisibility by 10. A number is divisible by 10 only when its unit digit is 0. By an example question, that is, we have to check that this number, that is 246590, is divisible by 9, is divisible by 10 or not. We can say that this number is perfectly divisible by 10, but just looking its unit digit, that is 0. If we have a number like 246595, if the unit digit is 5, then we can directly say by seeing that this number is not divisible by 10. Next divisibility we have is divisibility by 25. A number is divisible by 25 if the number formed by its last two digits is either 00 or divisible by 25 or divisible by 25. Let's understand these divisibility by taking an example questions. That is, let's take this question number 1. That is what we have, 74875. We have to see only the last two digits, that is 75. We know that 75 is perfectly divisible by 25, that is 25 ones are 25, 25 threes are. Then what we can say, this number is perfectly divisible by 25. Next question what we have, 74850, that is 50 is divisible by 25, 25 ones are 25 twos are. So we can say that the next question is also perfectly divisible by 25. The next question what we have, 74825, then we will look the last two digits, that is 25 divided by 25, which is equals to 1. Then this question is also perfectly divisible by 25. The next thing what we will look, 74800, which means 00. What I said, the last two digit is either 00 or perfectly divisible by 25. What we can say, these three are perfectly divisible by 25 and the last two digits in this question is 00, which means this rule, the rule of divisibility by 25, is perfectly satisfying here. So we can simply understand these like, let's take a table of 25, that is 25 ones are 25, 25 twos are 50, 25 threes are 75, 25 fours are 100. If you remember these four, you can say directly that this number is divisible by 25 or not by just looking the last two digits. If you see 25 at the last two digits, 50, 75 and 00, then you can directly say that this number is perfectly divisible by 25. Thank you for watching this lesson on Quantivo Academy. If you like this video and find this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.